Good morning. Thank you for joining me. My name is Fran McLean, and I will be discussing reading, vocabulary, and comprehension. My key points for today will be 3 levels of vocabulary learning, word maps, the Frayer Model, and QAR. There are 3 levels of vocabulary learning. Our first level or tier is basic speaking vocabulary. Now, basic speaking vocabulary are word meanings that are commonly learned in conversation and from accessible media sources. Now, this is a type of vocabulary that does not require instruction. Okay, now tier 1 words are the most basic words that occur frequently in our language. A few examples are cat, dog, block, or clock. Tier 2 is elaborated speaking vocabulary. This is a type of vocabulary where word meanings are sophisticated synonyms for words in our basic speaking vocabulary. Okay, examples of this are gigantic versus big, or fortunate versus lucky. Now, tier 2 words are high frequency words in adult language, and they can be found in a variety of domains. Okay, an example for this would be like the word politician or spectacular. Going on to tier 3. Tier 3 is academic knowledge domain vocabulary. Okay, these are word meanings that are learned within highly specialized knowledge domains. Now, these domains can include areas such as botany, geography, medicine, or physics. It's really important to note that tier 3 words are low frequency words that are found in specific knowledge domains. Now, these domains can include areas such as science or mathematics. Two examples of words that can be used in tier 3 are words such as isotope or fulcrum. These are words that are not commonly used outside of those specific domains. Moving forward, we're going to discuss word maps. Now, a word map is a type of graphic organizer, and it shows the nature of a word's meaning relationship. Now, it's important that students understand that this type of graphic organizer is used to address 3 important questions. Okay, our first important question is, what is it? So a student will have to tell the definition of the word that is in the center of that's being used in the center of the word map. What is it like? This can be referred to as characteristics. Okay, and our third question is, what are some examples? A student will be required to give a few examples for the word that's being discussed. Now, in my example, I use the word country. Okay, so for country, I found the definition: a territory distinguished by its people, culture, language, geography, etc. Okay, some characteristics that can be used to describe a country is ancient, contemporary, or crowded. And for examples, I used the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Now, word maps have been also referred to as word webs or concept maps. So there's a lot of different types of styles that can be used when working in the classroom. Just find whatever works best for you. I use this type of style because it's the most basic. Moving forward, we are going to discuss now the Frayer Model. The Frayer Model is another type of graphic organizer. Okay, it's very useful for teacher preparation. It's also helpful for students because it helps them better understand new vocabulary and concepts in relation to knowledge that the student may already have. Okay, and I think that's really important because this type of graphic organizer is able to help students link that previously known knowledge. Okay, this type of model can be useful for nonfiction terms or academic vocabulary because it presents essential and non-essential information related to this term that is being studied. Now, for my example, I am going to use the word reptile. Now, for reptile, I found the definition, okay? Any cold-blooded vertebrate of the class Reptilia, okay? Now, for this, I just gave some different characteristics of what a reptile can be under. Okay, so they're vertebrates, their bodies are covered in scales, they're cold-blooded, and they breathe through lungs. Okay, now it's important for a student to give more than one example. Okay, so for this, I chose 3. I used turtles, snakes, and lizards. Now, non-examples may have to be explained to some students because they may not understand what they are. So a non-example is going to be the opposite of an example. It's going to be something that is not related to the word that you are discussing. So I use the words cat, dog, and rabbit. Okay, now moving forward, we are going to discuss QAR. What is QAR? QAR are question-answer relationships. Okay, now this is a comprehension strategy used to teach students how to answer questions, because we know that it's really important that students are aware of what they're reading and that they have an understanding of what they're reading. Now, QAR can be set up into 4 different categories of questions. Okay, our first category is going to be right there. Now, with right there questions, students will look for a single sentence or 2 sentences that are connected by a pronoun. Okay, now this is going to help them answer those questions that are being asked. Okay, now let's go on to think and search. Now, think and search is a type of question where a student will focus their attention on the structure of the text. Okay, now this can be in terms of cause and effect, problem solution, or just them listing examples of what they have found. Okay, number 3 is author and me. Author and me is a in my head type of category. So the questions can be asked before and after reading a text, and this helps activate prior knowledge. Number 4 is on my own. On my own is another in my head category. But in this category, questions are only asked before reading. So this is also going to help with activating that prior knowledge that a student may have. Okay, now we're going to discuss some recommendations for when students need more support. Now, not all students are going to need extra support, but you will have some who may need it, and that's okay. Okay, so I would use flexible cooperative grouping. And I would use this in my classroom because it will allow for students to learn from and with others. Okay, we know that students often learn better when they are being taught by their peers. So this is a really good tool that you can use. So if you have some students in your class who are very knowledgeable about the subject that some other students may be struggling with, this is something that would be really great for you to use. Okay, capitalize on interests and abilities. It's important to capitalize on interests and abilities of the students in your classroom because these strengths should overcome their weaknesses. So you are going to find areas that they're strong in, and you are going to use those areas to help them overcome their weaknesses. Now, this can be done with using a student who is more fluent in the task being used, or it can be done in a group setting. But I would try to use activities that are going to be fun and intriguing so that the students stay on task. Okay, and you're also going to want to focus your instruction. So you're going to want to focus your instruction on the comprehension skills and strategies that have the highest utility. So by using this method, you are going to use things such as the end of the year benchmarks and use this as a guide for instruction and assessment so that you can help those students meet those needs. Thank you for joining me today. Have a good rest of your day.